Let's go to the Champions League. Prez, you introduced it well. I want to talk about the previous 2 rounds of the Champions League, what City has done. So they played Bayern Munich and they played Real Madrid. Now, as fans of soccer know, the previous rounds here in the Champions League are 2 legs. Each team gets 1 at home. When City was at home in those 2 rounds, they closed around minus 170 against Bayern on the 3-way line and close to minus 200 when they faced Real Madrid. Again, that's at the Etihad at home. They also opened north of minus 200 on the 3-way line against Man United over the weekend, neutral site at Wembley in the FA Cup. They won, as you mentioned, Prez. I know United took some late money, but that was wrong. Here in the final, which is played in Istanbul, a lovely city, by the way. I spent some time there.
One of the most beautiful cities in the world.
Yeah,
literally incredible. One of the most beautiful cities. Constantinople, the center of the universe for many centuries.
Yeah, it's great. It's just all kinds of culture. It's great. If you've never been there and you're listening, you should go there. But back to the Champions League. City is a bigger favorite Saturday against Inter Milan than they were in any of those matches I mentioned previously, despite the fact that I think Inter Milan, Prez, is at least comparable, if not better, than those aforementioned opponents that City has faced. I've said it many times on stoppage time. It was a little weird waking up yesterday, no stoppage time, but we obviously have the biggest match of the year to talk about. Inter in Italy, down the stretch, they were the best side. They did not win the league, Serie A, but they've won 11 of 12 overall, outscoring opponents 29-9. The only loss during that stretch, guys, came with a rotated squad. That means they sat starters. When they played Napoli, they were sandwiched in between the Champions League semi and the Coppa Italia final. They've already won the Coppa Italia final as Inter and the Supercoppa. So they've won cup finals before domestically. Now we talk about what happened last weekend. City was tested against United in the FA Cup final. Inter, they just played a meaningless domestic final. I think it's fair to question City's fitness coming in to this final. All the pressure is on them to win the treble, as you mentioned, Prez, which is the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Champions League. And I do not see City winning by more than a goal inside 90 minutes plus stoppage time. If you want to lay the juice, you could probably find some rogue plus 1.5s, but I am comfortable taking 1.25 here. I do not see Inter losing by more than a goal inside 90 minutes plus stoppage time. Of course, if they do lose by a goal, it would just be a half win. But I think, Teddy, that they can force added time if need be. I am taking Inter plus 1.25 on Saturday.
So you think Inter Milan is live in the game, in the match against Man City on Saturday? Let me ask you this. When you talk about ways to bet it, you're talking about a split bet here between +1 and +1.5?
Correct.
For those who don't do a lot of soccer betting, can you explain exactly what type of bet that would be and how you would make it?
Yeah, it's called it's similar to, it's the spread or the Asian handicap is what it's called. So you're basically just betting 1.25. So yeah, as you meant, it's a split wager. So if they were to lose, in this case, Inter by a goal, you would win that bet, the +1, and then you would lose +1.5. So it is a split weight when it's a quarter. Now, that's why I mentioned earlier, if you want to shop around for +1.5, you're going to have to lay a little more juice to do that. But if they were to lose, if Inter were to lose by 1 goal, then you're covered and it's a full win if you get the +1.5.